Greetings once again from Tampa Bay, guys. I'm going out this morning for a little pre-dawn ride. I've had some requests to do more tour videos, and you know what, if you guys have any kind of requests for particular videos, just let me know. If I can accommodate, I certainly will. Going down this morning to Fort De Soto State Park, which is at the very southern tip of Pinellas County. It's a really nice park. I haven't been down there in quite a while. Used to do shoots down there, but a lot of things really died off down there because when the economy collapsed, 7, 8 years ago or so, the first thing they did was monetize everything. It used to be a free park, and it's pretty cool. There's a fort down there, there's tons of trails, there's camping, all kinds of stuff. But like the other parks, they started charging for everything, and attendance really died off. Clients don't want to pay $20 for a carload of people to get in, and if you're just going down to have a picnic or something, there's other places you can do it free. You don't have to go to a state park, so people stopped doing that. There's a ferry service that runs down to an island offshore from it. That died off because that costs money to begin with, but if you have to now pay just to get into the park to get to the ferry, well, yeah. Anyway, it's about a 45-minute ride, so I will pick this up when I get down there. And I'm also testing out my new GoPro card. So far, so good. I tested it out a lot yesterday, and I have confidence that that solved the problem, and there's only one reason I'm saying that, and it doesn't make any sense. That's because the one thing I noticed right away is the formatting time is cut in half. With my 64 gig card, the Lexar 633, it takes about 2 seconds to format the card in the camera. And it's less than 1 second with this card, which makes no sense because this card is rated, supposedly, almost half the speed for the rate. This is only rated at a 40 megabyte per second write time, which supposedly is like the bare minimum for the camera functions. But we shall see. I couldn't get it to do it yesterday. I recorded at least 20 clips, all different kind of time frames, nothing. So not calling it fixed yet because it's still, fairly random and it could happen at any time. But I'm going to be checking that stinking display in red light. So we'll see you in about 45 minutes or an hour and check out the park. Okay, well, this is a problem. There's no one at this freaking toll. I don't have exact change. I have a quarter. I had to pay 75 cents to the access road just to get to this freaking toll. I really hate you, government. I really do. So I'm going to have to turn around, find a store, get some stupid change. And there's another toll plaza after this. Can't imagine why people stop coming. Just can't imagine. Well, luckily there's a 7-Eleven 3 miles down the road. Oh, and look, gas is 20 cents more a gallon across the board just because we're down here on this access road. Woohoo! Sugar-free Red Bull. Change. Just had a cool idea for a product. Some kind of change holder, dispenser. Kind of like cars used to have in the armrest. For your sleeve. There's tons of commuters out there. It's a pain in the ass keeping your money somewhere. I got this glove box, but you can't get change out of it. I can keep bills in there. That's about it. I can't get down in there to get my change. Oh well. Oh, let's see here. Maybe I can squeeze it in here. Nope. I'll just have to stop and get it out of my pocket. Not a huge deal here where I'm going, but if you're in a real busy toll plaza, you don't want to have to be taking off your glove, finding what you need, giving the money, waiting for the change, putting it away, putting back on your glove. Traffic's starting to pick up now. We're in an area called Tierra Verde. It's a really nice place. I've had some clients live down in here. A lot of boats, of course. There's a couple marinas, and the park is a real popular place to launch boats from because it is so far south. It's right across from the Skyway Bridge. There's really good fishing around there, so that's why the gas prices are jacked up. They rape all the boaters. Every marina around here does that. That's actually pretty cheap. I mean, that's not a marina gas station, but that's the last stop before you hit the park, so that's where a lot of people are gonna fuel up. The marinas, well, they're about 50 cents more. They were as much as $1 more a gallon for the on-water gas stations. Last time I was filling up, it's just ridiculous. Now the good part is, a lot of them around here on the water use ethanol-free gas because most boat motors are not ethanol tolerant, and it absolutely destroys your fuel system if you leave it over the winter or you just run it normally for just a few years. Pretty much every kind of rubber piece in your fuel system, from your fuel pump to your lines to your carburetors, disintegrates. Most car engines for the past several years have been very ethanol tolerant, and motorcycles, so I don't have to worry about it. If you haven't researched ethanol at all, it's, long story short, it's fuel made from corn. It's alcohol. So instead of buying 100% gasoline, you're getting 10% alcohol, 90% gasoline. It's a whole bunch of malarkey from the government. It is less fuel efficient, so your mileage goes down when you run it. It's not any cheaper. It's heavily subsidized, the farming industry. It's just a giant joke. Bottom line is, it hurts consumers. It doesn't save us a single penny. In fact, it costs us money, both in mileage and broken parts. And prices didn't go down whatsoever. So yeah, ethanol sucks. Alright. Coming back up to the toll plaza here in a second. Got really nice biking and jogging paths through here. Now if you're on a bicycle, you don't have to pay to get in the park. Just motor vehicles. I haven't been through here in quite a long time. In fact, the last time was when I was shooting a triathlon. I used to shoot a lot of races down here. I spent quite a few mornings camped out all along this park. What they do is, if you don't know what a triathlon is, they have 3 sections of the race. Swimming, biking, and running, all in one couple-hour stretch. So I was on a photography team, and I'd have to come out here like 4 in the morning, get set up. Depending on what part of the race you were shooting, sometimes you could move around, sometimes you couldn't. So there were some times where I would have to go find my spot, camp out, and then I couldn't leave while the race was going because I couldn't use my car. Okay. Pay by mail. Okay, well, that tells me they don't have a camera to catch finers. Not that I would have run it, but still. Ah, Jesus, come on, get out of my pocket. See, now there's a car coming behind me, and I feel like a schmuck for holding them up, but I can't get my freaking quarters out. There we go. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Thank you, green. See, now I gotta go before the stupid thing goes. My glove's still off. just a pain in the ass, these stupid toll booths that are automated. If I had a little change dispenser, I wouldn't have to take my glove off. How cool would that be? Maybe I'll see if I can engineer something real cheap and put up a video so people can make it. I like solving problems, and that is definitely a problem. So now we are into the top of the park. Boat ramps over here to the right. I'll run through that. That's the other part of the park, straight across there. On the other side of that landmass is the Gulf of Mexico. Got the Skyway Bridge to the left. This is the access bridge to the actual park landmass. There is one of the original Spanish forts in the area on this. That's what it's named for, Fort De Soto. And I'll take you guys through there with hat cam. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to go over to Egmont Key. There's also fort ruins over there and a really cool lighthouse, and it's only accessible by boat. It's quite a large island. Here's some more very nice biking ramps. Let's take a look through the boat ramps. Parking fees for the boat ramps, $6. $5 without a trailer, but why would you be parking here without a trailer? So that's $7.25 if you want to come here to launch a boat. Total. Pretty much on par with all the boat ramps around here. This one's quite large. Very nice pavements, and the last time I checked, at least, the ramps themselves were in very good condition. That's extremely important if you're launching a boat. I have had more than one occasion where I could barely pull out of the water, and I've had to be towed, like my car and trailer, towed back up the ramp just because it was so slimy. The algae gets on there, and if they don't maintain the ramps, or if they don't have really good fettered concrete, if it's just really slick and smooth, or they put down metal plates, some have bricks if they're on sandy bottoms, they just don't last. These have really nice floating piers, so you can launch your boat, have somebody hold it, tie it up, whatever you need to do. Let's see how they're looking here. Pretty rough. Not too bad. Oh, that's just seaweed from the last tide that went out. That looks good. You can see there's a lot of slips. So this supports very heavy boat traffic. Got a nice wide deep channel going straight out, and there's not that much to go. So it is a really nice place to boat from. Nice truck. Big old Denali. Everybody's going fishing. Beautiful Friday. Seems like Saturday, especially since the wife is home. It's her first day off, or first day not working during the school summer. So she was still home when I left this morning, and she wasn't getting up. Usually she's gone by 6:30. Let's continue on out here and go to the main park entrance. Now, if I remember correctly, there's still another toll booth to get into the actual park. There's nothing to do until you get to that part. That's where all the parking is and all the picnic pavilions. It splits into like a large J shape. This is running down the center. There's a section that goes off to the left and gives you a really nice view of the Skyway Bridge. Depending on weather conditions and how it's lit, you can take some really nice pictures of that. There's $5 parking at the entrance booth. Another $5. Look at that. That's just to get in the park again. So we're at a $1.25 just to get here. More pay stations. Oh man, they're charging you just to park along this dirt. Wow, that is really new. I mean, those weren't even there the last time I was here. Holy moly. That is pretty cheap. It's not like you'd park here and walk in. It's like a half mile. There's a camp store. There's a big camping area here. Let me see if I can buzz through that. I don't know if it's going to be gated or require a tag or anything. All right, gates are open, so that's okay. And I'll tell you what, I have no idea why people would park or camp here. The bugs are brutal. You can see there's always standing water around here. Plus, you're on the water. It is mosquito central, I kid you not. I mean, I've walked through here, and like I said, I've shot through here. I've been camped out waiting for the races to start for a couple hours. It is nasty. But I've never gone through this actual camp area yet. Whew, sandy road, sliding around. Love the torque of this bike. I'm idling hands off at 10 miles an hour in second. It's not even caring. It's just a nice, smooth ride. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. So you can see they're just little pull through. These go straight through to the other side. It's a loop drive here, so you can pull your RV in real easily, or your fifth wheel, or just put up a tent. Here's a little trailer. You got restrooms. I mean, I suppose if you're in a trailer, if you're in an RV, if you're not in a tent, let me put it that way, this would probably be pretty darn cool to camp in, because you wouldn't be affected by all the bugs. So, okay, I could see that. That's not bad. I don't know how much the camping fee is. Oh, sketchy road. Real soft sand. You can see these spots here go right up onto the water. Great views. I don't know if they cost any more. That would be nice. Some nice RVs in here. Wow. Man, they've gotten really cheap. There's a couple big RV sales places right down the street from me. And it seems like every 6 months they just keep dropping the prices. It looks like the same units have been out there for years. My barber, actually, one of them, I go to a shop that has like 5 or 6 people rotating in and renting the chairs. But one of them, he's an old timer and he's big into RVs. And it took him 2 years to sell one. He took a bath on it. He said it was just way too expensive for him to run it. It was a gas truck, you know, a gas engine. And it was just killing him. He took 1 2-week trip, came back and sold it, or tried to sell it. It didn't run it. It sat in the parking lot there. Oh, see, there's a guy with a tent. That's crazy. No, thank you. But he took a bath on it. I remember he wanted to get a different one, a diesel, but he ended up just not getting anything. I think it just took him too long. Probably got a little sour to the experience. Oh, sketchy sand. Brand new road tires. Not a good combo. Alright, so that's what the camping looks like. I won't go through the other leg. That's the same thing. Just goes down there and there's a big park area here for all the campsite people. Woo, bright sun. A little blinded. I wanted to get out here this morning while it was nice and cool, because we're supposed to have another really hot and humid day. That's not bad until about 12 o'clock. Right now it's absolutely beautiful. Very comfortable, relatively low humidity, and it's 82 degrees. Just gorgeous biking weather. So let's continue on, and you know what I think they might have done is gotten rid of the toll booth and just put up all the automated parking toll taker things at all the parking lots, because there's 3 or 4 large parking lots around the park. I just want to go to one of them. So if that's the case, I'm just going to go right down to the fort. I'll run you through the rest of it, but it's really just hiking trails like this, and that's an interesting elliptical bike. I'd never seen that before. That looks kind of fun. That'd be great for these kinds of trails. Nope, still a toll booth. I'm going to let this car behind me go. Cop. Didn't let them go because they were a cop. Let them go because I need to get another $5 out of my freaking pocket. And I didn't want to hold them up. $5 alligator 20s. Great. So now we'll be up to 6 1/4. Hopefully they give me a parking pass or something and I don't have to pay again to park. But you know what? Anything is possible. I wouldn't put it past them, given the way they're charging for everything around here. Let's go see. Hello. Thanks. I'll look at that ticket when I stop. I think that's my parking pass. Probably have to display it on the dash somewhere. Alright, so here's the main entrance. This is where the road splits. I'll go left here first because it's just a short little scenic loop. Oh, I got bike rentals down here now. That's cool. I would actually do that. Just come down here and rent some beach bikes and use the trails, rather than loading up the bikes on my car. That is just a huge hassle. Bringing them all the way down here. Yeah, this way you come down, it's probably like $10 a person. One big pavilion section here. This is all just picnic areas. And there's a swimming beach right on the other side of it there. Woo, that sun is bright. Trying to keep my helmet down. Sorry if you guys can't see a lot of the road right now. That's a maintenance area. This is where they would do the biking leg of the triathlons, come all the way down here, and at the end of it, I think about a 1/4 mile up here, there's a loop, and I would set up off to the side, kitty corner of the loop, and that way I would get them through the turn. It was real important to get each rider individually. Man, that was a real pain in the ass. One of the worst things that you want to photograph is a race, believe me. Because the way it used to work, I say used to because nobody does it anymore, because everyone has cameras and smartphones that are good enough, and nobody buys the official race pictures anymore. So they stopped hiring photographers to do the races. But it was really important that you get a clear shot of each individual racer, not in a pack and not just straight on. So you had to really research and pick and choose your spots. Here's the Skyway Bridge. I'll stop on the way back around the loop here. But you wanted a clear shot of their face and their bike and their bib number. That was the other huge thing. We're talking about, 500 to 1,000 contestants in a race. And you had to catalog each one by their race number, which means you had to look at each picture, read the bib number, and put it in the metadata by hand. Oh my God, was that a pain in the ass. It was just not worth the money. All right, so there's the Skyway Bridge. Wow, can't see anything. Looks like an ore ship going out there. They go out right through the middle of it. Tampa Bay's right to the left. and it's open water to the right. This gets real pretty at night, especially when the bridge lights up colored. This would be a good place to scrub your tires. See how fast you can go around it. There are some guys that got busted a couple years ago around here. We've got a couple cloverleaf intersections where two interstates cross. And they were treating it like a racetrack, just going round and round and round all the four exchanges, you know, endlessly. And of course they got busted because one of them crashed really hard into the guardrail. So that put an end to that. Now they got cameras and everything, and they watch for it. But just imagine, like this guy here, you know, solid, or that girl there, solid bikers, side by side, front to back, all down this road. There was no way I could get back down this road in my car until the race was over. So I was camped out here outside, getting eaten by the bugs from like 4 to 9. So I really didn't like doing these biking leg sections of the races. I love doing the finish line and the start. That was great. The starts were going into the water, and then they'd swim for about, I think it was a half mile or 3/4 mile, something like that, and then they come out of the water up the beach, start their bike segment, and then they would basically do one big loop. This road goes far down, I'm going to take you there, it goes then far to the right, and they would start way up at that corner. So they come down, over, do the loop, come back up, ditch the bikes, and then do most of it again on foot. And then they would end up back at that same spot across the finish line. But it was really good being the guy that did the start and finish, because you didn't have to walk around a lot, and it was a lot easier to get the photos you need. Because when they're obviously coming through the finish line, they're lined up. They're usually at the most 2 wide, sometimes 3, but a lot of them are just alone. So bam, there's your picture right there. You don't have to worry about it. And swimming, you got them coming up the beach, and they really slow down. When they come away from that swim, you know, it's very tiring. It's a lot of work. And then they're trying to run through the sand coming out of the water. It's a lot easier to hit a slow-moving target than a fast one, and they haul ass on those bikes. They're special triathlon bikes. They're not like anything you buy in a store or that you see just riding around on the road. They move, man. They cook. So it's real easy to miss your focus or just miss your shot. And that compounds the problem of being the editor, because you're doing spray and pray. You're doing high-speed shots. You have to have a camera that does really high-speed shutters, and it's just non-stop. I would come home with 7,000 to 10,000 shots to have to go through for one race. It was a lot of work. And stupid me, I did them when I was first starting out. You know, I thought it was a great gig, and I did have fun with it. But the actual gig the race themselves only paid about $250, which is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, I know that now. But you made more by selling the pictures. You could choose the deal you wanted. You could get a little bit more up front, and I think it was like $400 up front, and that's it. Or you could take a little less up front and then get a percentage of the photo sales, and that's what I always did. I tried it both ways, and man, it was like day and night, so I never did the big charge up front again. You would make $500-600 usually off the sales. People buying 8x10s, especially the finish line. That was definitely the #1 seller, and they'd sell for about $40, and I would make 20 something off of each one. Problem was, you know, as cameras got better, and let's face it, they take good enough pictures where people are framing them no problem. $40 for one picture, I mean, that buys a good chunk of a consumer grade camera. And more spouses and everything were just along the sidelines or at the finish line taking the picture, and it's free. So every single race, it seemed like they're just declined, and print sales kept going down, down, down. Finally, one race, I made $100. So I was like $350 for about 10 hours worth of work, not including travel, which is another couple hours. I said, that's my last race. Not to mention shutter wear. You know, cameras, they're only rated for so many clicks before the shutter wears out, and then it's several $100s to replace the shutter. And when you're doing 10,000 shots per gig, that's a huge chunk of your shutter. So it just didn't pay. Coming up here, this winds up a little bit more. There's another loop, and there's something else to the right. There's some hiking trails or something. I'd never actually been through there. I want to drive through and check it out. That's a little parking lot, some more plazas, and this is where they would start to have parking for all the races and stuff. Right here, this is North Beach. It's another big parking lot. They've got a little strip of water right on the other side. I'll see if I can run through. And then there's more landmass just on the other side of the water, and actually almost disappears at low tide. And it's a bird preserve. You can't even walk through there. Arrowhead picnic area. Okay, that's just pavilions. So they would set up the finish line and everything in this North Beach area, and the start. But the start would be in the water, like I said. So here's the loop. I'd also set up down here. This was another good spot for the bikes. When I did this, it was when I was doing the start and finish, and I would just run down here, kind of in the middle of it, before they were ready to finish. Because the more shots you got, the better. Sometimes they had multiple photographers, which worked a lot better. You'd think I wouldn't want them to steal my commissions, but they were getting additional shots. There's no way one photographer could cover all this stuff. I got that closed off. That's where it was down there. Nice areas, but unused. You can see how empty it is. Used to be packed. Used to be absolutely packed when it was free. They got a restaurant, a snack bar, and everything here. Pretzels and ice cream and that kind of stuff. Never seen anyone at it. Not in years. Look at all this beautiful wasted area, and they're still paying to maintain it all. They got to mow the lawns, they got to paint the stuff, they got to clean, but nobody's enjoying it. Too bad. So we'll run down to the fort now. This is what I really came down here to show you guys. It's a bit of a touristy thing, but it's still cool. Actually went through one pretty similar to it down in, oh man, there's a Caribbean island. Went there with my parents on our last cruise. Oh, that squirrel barely made it out from under that car. He went left, went right. I think he went in between the wheels. Oh, come on, dude. It's 40, not 30. There's nothing to see here. Come on, it's getting hot. Man, I can't remember the name of the island. It wasn't Jamaica. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's the one with the Queen's Staircase. I remember I took a picture down that. Huh. Just totally slipping my mind. Anyway, there was a fort there that we visited, and it was pretty much like this, just a lot smaller. I'm not sure if it was Spanish or French. I just can't remember. But around the same time period, cannon set up and magazines, the rooms for all the gunpowder and the cannonballs and stuff like that. And they got some here. Hopefully you can still go through them all. It's got 2 levels. So I'll stick on hat cam and go through all of that. What's this sign say? Refreshments. Can't remember if this goes through or not. We'll take a look. I know I've been to this one before. I think the last time I came to the fort just for fun. It doesn't look like it. That's alright. I think it goes through on foot. Yeah, it says their entrance to the fort through the gift shop, of course. But that's not where I want to go. Because they do have parking right at the fort itself, on the corner here. Yeah, I'm really feeling that sun now. It's up. It's still 82 degrees, but it's really heating up. The more it stays up, the more all this water gets turned into humidity. There's the fort right there. Should be able to go into the right, if I remember correctly. Man, I came here for some kind of event. I remember they were parking all on this grass here. I just can't remember what it was. I really can't remember. It wasn't a concert or anything, but it was something big. So I remember we parked way back here on the lawn and had to walk all the way to the fort. I can't even remember if I was alone or with somebody. It could have been a race I was down here for, I suppose. I don't remember one starting down here at the fort. It doesn't matter. Well, we're still recording. I haven't had any dropouts yesterday or today, so again, so far so good. I'm liking that. Still doesn't make sense, but I'm liking it. My wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, well, I'll let you know in a couple days, and you can just pay me for this card. That's the only thing I want or need. Nobody here. Look at that. Nobody. So here's the entrance to the fort. I'm going to run down to this corner here real quick and show you the fishing pier. They do have a really nice one out here. Got some boardwalks that go out to some trails. I guess they want you to go around. Holy fart can, Batman. Freaking Civic has like a 4-inch exhaust. Why? And I'll bet you it's an automatic too. What do you want to bet? And a Puerto Rico flag from the mirror. Is it a stereotype if it's always true? I don't think so. See what we can see here. Way in in the distance there, straight in the middle, you can see the Egmont Key Lighthouse. That's the pier. It's just for fishing. Alright, let's hit the fort. I don't know, it's pretty crowded. Got some birds up there nesting. I see you guys. What are you doing? Look like hawks. And they are eyeballing me. That's a big nest platform they have up there. Got a lot of electrical poles that they like to nest on. A lot of bald eagles too. Oh, that's good. I'm like, why the heck did it stall? Because I wasn't in first. Derp-a-derp. I'm going to grab the first spot and park in the shade. Alright, I'll throw on hat cam here and take you through the fort.
Ready? Go! Whew! Oh man! Whew! That was a ride. Oh! Let's see what we got up here. A big old hawk or something sitting right there. So let's take a look at this view. You can see why they built the fort where they did. Funny thing is, it was never used. No one ever tried to invade. Big ships going out. Obviously that's the little fishing pier they got. Well, not little. Good sized one. It's amazing how just a little bit of elevation you can see good 20 miles. We're not that high up. We're only maybe 60 feet, 50 feet at that. That's all it takes when you're looking out on the water. Huh, I wonder if I can use this with a GoPro. Huh. There's not much to see. 50 cents? Forget about it. So we're looking at the roof of the fort right now. It's all overgrown. Those look like air holes or something. This is a little courtyard. It's shaped like a U. And then this is more of it right here. We're walking over the top of the roof of it right now. That's all concrete. Built to last. Hi. Pop a grenade. Boom. Little lookout spot there. See if I can go up there. See, this is all the elevation we're at. Really not that much. That's all it takes. 12 steps. About 40 steps total. That's how tall we are. Up on the roof of that fort. pedestrians only. That's me. Check out the beach here. Whew. This is the kind of sand that gives you a workout. It's just so loamy. It's hard to walk through because with every step, your feet just squish into it. So it's like walking through Play-Doh or something. It's not hard packed. This is the kind of stuff I got stuck on in my Mini Cooper. So right here, it's nice and hard, and it went from that to soft in about a foot, and I didn't know it. Beautiful day out. Great day to be on the water. You can see the beach curves all the way down there. It goes down for a couple miles, and then it stops at the bird sanctuary, and that takes over the rest of the north section back where I showed you that top loop. But you can see this is a great spot for engagement photos, for family photos. You got this tall grass, nice sand. You don't have to worry about sand spurs. I had a lot of good shots down here, man. Not anymore. Do not pick the sea oats. Okay, I won't. Actually, they would look pretty darn cool in my yard. I like them. I've got some bushes kind of like them already. It's another Florida native plant. I've done all Florida native plants at the house. Zero maintenance. I mean, nothing. They keep spreading on their own. I don't have to water them or anything. Absolutely perfect. So there's a snack shop, the back side of it that I rode through. And you can just walk through and get to right here. Big old cannon. Where have the trees gone? Oh, that's right. They took out some pine trees or something. If this is a return visit for you, you might notice something's missing. The palms and strangler fig trees that were growing in, on, and around Battery lately are no longer here. Park personnel carefully removed them to preserve the integrity of the fort structure. The tree roots were beginning to cause structural damage to this very precious and historic site. I can relate to that, because I had a tree doing the same thing in my house. This says relocating. What does that word say? It's all smashed out. Plotting. Relocating plotting room. Plotting as in trajectory? I don't know. Ooh, a lot of hornets and wasp nests. Okay. Echo, echo, echo. Now there would have been barracks in here somewhere too. Ooh, it's scary. It's actually pretty damn dark. I'm sure the GoPro is going to make it look lighter, but it's almost pitch black in here right here. Hello? 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 If you guys see a ghost, let me know. I hear they only come out on camera. You know, I'm actually surprised they don't have a problem with homeless people around here camping out and destroying the place, but I guess they sweep it pretty good every night when they close. The ceiling's got steel reinforcing beams and concrete blocks. I don't know if this is original or added. I don't know. Did they have these kinds of steel support beams? Well, you know, they might have, because they're pretty damn close together. They're only about 1.5 foot apart. I'm sure modern construction could do a lot better than that. You can see all the way through that pipe. I wonder if that's for air or communications. You know? Hey Bob, send up some beer. Oh, now this one's really dark. There's no window or anything. Got some more holes going through the walls, and they go out too. Huh. No entry. I used to be able to go up there. That sucks. I think that's that little lookout cutout thing. Yeah, it is. So you could go out there and basically just get to where we were up at the top. Another little room here, probably the same as that first one. Yeah. Data booth. Man, that looks like a machine gun pillbox, you know? They didn't have them back then. Single set officers' quarters. Built 1900 to 1901, photo from 1905. Elevation number 4-49.1, azimuth 4-269.3, elevation 3-49.2. Not sure what they would do with this room. Here's a picture of the top of the fort. Actually, it looks like the center right here. The guys working. Man, there are a lot of guys. I guess it took a lot of guys to deal with these huge guns. I mean, this is literally what this entire place is built around, and they took 2 out. There used to be 4 in here. The last picture I took had all of them in there. Did they just move them? What the hell happened to the other 2? No, that's a different one. I did want to take a look at this one. There were 4 in there. That's so weird. I'm sure there were. So I took this cool infrared picture looking through the barrel. This says 6-inch Barbarette carriage, Armstrong, 40 caliber gun. That's 40, not .40. Plan with rear of shield removed is the top. 16-degree elevation, 7-degree depression on the ground. And it gives some measurements for the barrel. Bunch of crap in there. Hello. Go, 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 go. Yeah, just pick it up, carry it around. Boom. Sure, we can do that. Wow, that is solid. Is the point of this just so if they're shooting at you, it tries to deflect around, or a shell? I can't imagine that if anything comes that close, much of anything will do any good, but dang, this is thick. This is solid. I'm sure iron or steel. Feels like it's got half an inch of paint on it. I can almost squish the paint with my hands. 4.5, maybe 5 inches thick, solid metal. Big old barrel feels about the same. Just caked with paint and rust. Huh. Let's take a look at those other 2 there to the left. Nothing on that side. Wish that door was open. I'd like to see if there's anything inside, or if they had some kind of display. Let me stick the camera up. I can't see anything really. You guys might. Oh, okay, they're just using it as storage. Looks like a... It says, oh wow, back from the 50s. Survival supplies. I'm reading the label of this huge, looks like a hot water tank, but it's not. It says, Office of Civil Defense, Department of Defense something sanitation kit. Supplies 50 persons, and it lists some contents. I can't see that. Instructions for use. I can't see the rest of that. It's got that little CD triangle and circle symbol back from the 50s. Like, you know, stop, drop, and cover. That'll protect you from a nuke. These look like rain gutters, metal pipes. I don't know if those were added before or after. I would imagine after, just to preserve this. Wow, look at this chain. I mean, this is just... that ain't moving. That is rusted solid, or cemented or something. But yeah, they had 2 more gun emplacements here. Obviously you can see the places on the ground. Yeah, I remember the picture I took. I was facing this way. It was horizontal like that one, but it was facing out here, and I took the picture looking through the barrel. I'll have to Google when I get back and see what they did with them. Maybe they sold them to a museum or something. Wow, these are freaking huge. These are like artillery. Short barreled but fat. They must have had a ton of charge. Look how thick that breech end is. I mean, it's twice the thickness of that long barrel gun out there. So we got some pedal controls down here. Imagine that locks or unlocks something. A big old hand crank here for 2 hands. I would imagine this is for rotating the whole assembly. Obviously on some kind of gear drive mechanism underneath it. This outer ring, I can feel it flexing, so it lifts up. There's something underneath that. It's not solid. That one over there looks a little less complete. One hinge here on a gear drive, and it looks like there's a missing handle right here. You'd crank that, it would rotate this gear, hit that one, which reduced to that one down there, which turned this, and that adjusted your angle. So that's how you lined up for firing. Look at these springs down here to control recoil. Massive springs. Solid metal. There's actually dual sets. There is a smaller spring inside each one of those. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Everything's all rusted solid. Now, this is interesting. Here is another carrier for some kind of axle. And I can't remember if the other 2 cannons had anything on those or not. But they did something. Is that an angle? I can't think of off the top of my head what that would be for. But obviously that whole thing has to be pretty darn balanced at that center pivot point. Otherwise there's no way you would be able to raise it or lower it, whichever one was off balance. It's also got to be pretty darn balanced to crank it around. Maybe that's what that was for. Maybe that was a counterweight system that moved something on this side as that was gone up or down. Because if you didn't balance it, if it's tipping to the right, it's just going to smash down on that right side, and you're never going to be able to rotate it, especially with one person. So this would have to be very centered for your balance point. That's probably what that was. I would love to hear this thing go off. Oh, look at this. There's a gear drive on the back. Yeah, that must have driven as it rotated, and there's another carrier bearing set here. Oh, that's for the breech door. But this drove something. I bet that was coupled to something right in here. That was the counterbalance. I can't see under here, but maybe you guys can. Still recording? Yes, we are. Good. I can look through this one. Oh yeah, look at the rifling. That's a cool shot. Bond, James Bond. Moving on to the other side here. I don't remember if there's anything different. I don't think so. Got some doors on these rooms. Look, probably not original. Hinges might be. I don't think the wood would have survived. No, that feels like plastic almost. Ah, what's in here? Huge something. Wow. What the heck is this? Huh. I don't know if it's something to do with the fort or just something with the park that they're storing in here. Oh wow, look at this. I can't really see in there, but I'll probably see more on the camera. Looks like they're just storing some janitorial supplies. Graffiti. Aren't kids wonderful? Not. Got some threads in here. Not on the other ends. It almost looks like universal joints or something. I have no idea. Interesting. Anything in here? Oh, here we go. I was hoping they would have some information. There we go, beautiful. Let me make sure my camera's pointed right for you guys. So here's a artist rendition of the Native Americans that were here first. Got some earth mounds and huts. You guys can freeze frame this if you want to read it. Tocobaga Indians. They lived from 1000 AD to 1500 in this area. Oh, here's a layout. It says it's the commanding officer's quarters, 4th set, Fort De Soto, Florida. First floor plan. Whole room just for ice. Servant's bath, servant's room, stairs going up, back porch, kitchen, nice big kitchen, big pantry, more stairs, dining room, reception hall, parlor, vestibule, and library, and a huge porch. I have no idea where that building is. It's probably missing or burned down or something. I know it's not here. And then the second floor plan for the same building. Kind of looks like a plantation house. Looks very modern. It says it was constructed in 1905 for $9,492. I want to see what happened to it. Again, you guys can freeze this if you want to read everything. A whole bunch of buildings that aren't here anymore. Here's the barracks. I knew there had to be one around here somewhere. Mess hall, post office, firehouse, hospital, steward's quarters, non-commissioned officers' quarters, mine storehouse, staff quarters, civilians, bakehouse, civilians, quartermasters, wagon shed, stables, ordnance storehouse, cement storehouse during construction of this building. This is the Battery Lately. Pump house, water tank, searchlight shelter, workshop, oil house. Huh. Looks like a whole little town was here. There's an aerial photo of it. Yeah, none of that's here. Here's a schematic. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's a schematic of what we were looking at out there. Yeah, there's a big missing wheel to elevate it, the elevating hand wheel. Removable floor plate on a racer. Firing lanyard. I'm looking for any kind of... Oh, look at that. That whole thing drops away in the center, so whatever the counterbalance is goes down. That makes sense. Got a big old piece here that's not out there. Recoil cylinder. Interesting. Cool. The 12-inch mortar is what it fired. That's how they fired it on a long line. Move away. Elevating hand wheel used to elevate the barrel to the desired height, and the traversing hand wheel to turn it. Yeah, we knew that. There's the 4. That's what's missing. That's probably up top. It's a 15-pound shell, 3-inch cannon up top. There's a bigger picture of the one that's out in that little building window. Firing 12-inch mortars. That's cool. There's a picture of them actually firing. Nitrocellulose powder. Here's a fact sheet about them. 1,046-pound shells for Pit B. Pit A was firing 87.5-pound shells. Huh. That's a layout of this building. Battery. That looks like a daguerreotype or a photograph of one. Is half of this missing? I don't recall. Maybe I forgot that there's 2? Like I said, it's been a while since I've been here. I'll have to keep going. We're like here. I'll see. Oh my God, it's hot in here. I'm dripping with sweat. So I'm just gonna go through these and you guys can pause. Wow. Mosquitoes are getting in here too. Huh, they had a little rail car too. A little train yard. Miniature railroad in the 50s and 60s. Too funny. They sure did like their trains in the 50s and 60s. That was all the rage. We are here, right on this corner. That's where that lighthouse was across. There's a mosquito. Bye-bye. Ooh, he was full of blood. Alright, here's a layout of Fort Dade in Egmont Key as it was in 1921, which is that island way out there, the lighthouse. None of this is here. Absolutely none of it. There are fort remains of Battery McIntosh. No, I think it's actually Battery Howard. And it's just a shell of a building. But none of this is there anymore. It's all overgrown. Whew. That's a little better. Huh. Yeah, I forgot there's another courtyard, but now I'm not sure if there were 4 last time I was here, or this is the one I took a picture of because it was horizontal like this. Which is probably the case, and I'm just not remembering. Same thing here. More picnic areas. And more storage rooms. Another little lookout up top. Empty rooms there. That's it. So there's your tour of Fort De Soto Park and the actual Fort De Soto. I'm gonna head on home because it is getting freaking hot. I'm gonna go take a shower. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, share the site, TwoWheelObsession.com, and we'll see you next time.